Hello and warm welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. The fully automated National Shared Services Center of the Galaxy Backbone has been unveiled in furtherance of genuine efforts by the federal government towards developing a sustainable digital economy in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony alongside other key initiatives, described as impressive the giant strides achieved by the digital economy sector and urged the stakeholders to keep up the good work. Now, details of the report will be brought to you subsequently. The federal government says plans are underway to establish a youth bank. Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Sunday Dare, said these were fielding questions from newsmen at the 14th edition of President Muhammadu Buhari's scorecard series in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
It is no longer news that there is a rise in global youth population. In Nigeria, youths constitute 65% of the total population and stand significant for driving economic growth. Little wonder governments prioritize policies that pertain to the empowerment of this population. The latest is a plan for a youth bank.
Our hope is that before the end of this administration, the National Youth Fund will now become the youth bank, such that the youth of this country will have their own banks. You can walk into a youth bank with your idea, sit with some experts, exchange your idea, they look at it, and then they decide the level of funding you can get. When we have such youth bank, the single-digit 5% loan we apply, and a couple of other considerations.
The minister notes with interest the need for more youth attention to cybersecurity, a sector estimated to have more than 150,000 job opportunities.
We have trained over 91,000.
For the NYSC, its Skills Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program have trained more than 387,364 youth corps members, with 1,227 already business owners. On the issue of making NYSC optional, the scheme says,
a nation building, that is nothing like optional. Do you select A, B, C to build a nation, and then you leave C, D, and so on? No.
With all of these programs in place, a brighter and better country, observers assert, is sure. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the Finance Bill 2022 to the Senate for consideration. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the bill is to support the implementation of the 2023 budget.
Tuesday's plenary took off with President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan reading executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari on the Finance Bill 2022.
Specifically, this bill's provisions enhance tax equity by bringing more economic sectors into the tax net and ensuring a fairer distribution of revenue receipts to all tiers of government. Respond to climate change challenges through incentives to support the utilization of gas as a transition fuel, as well as disincentives for gas flaring and venting.
Senate has confirmed the appointment of Loretta Onochie and 12 others as chairman and board members of the Niger Delta Development Commission. This followed the consideration of their screening report by the Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs, which stepped down that of Pius Odudu from Edo and Anthony Okane from Imo State for being absent during the screening.
The committee noted that the nominees possess the requisite educational qualifications, vast experience, integrity, leadership qualities, and competence that will have a profound positive impact on the speedy development of the Niger Delta region.
By commending the president, at least finally, we have Mr. President's nominations to properly constitute the board.
I also want to urge the executive arm of government to send us the results of the forensic audit. Yes, let's see what the forensic audit, because forensic audit of the NDDC has taken toll on the NDDC itself.
Senate has urged the Accountant General of the Federation to capture recruited staff of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, and other institutions with similar case into the integrated payroll and personnel information system, as moved by Senator Uche Ekwunife.
Since the recruitment exercise of 2020, the recruited staff have not been properly captured and have not been paid. Since 2 years, they've been working in the university.
We have it in University of Calabar, in Ahmadu Bello University, and also Federal University of Umbudike. For the past 2-3 years, they have not collected their salary.
Senate passed the National Food Safety and Quality Bill, while that of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Repeal and Reenactment Bill passed second reading. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has asked the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, to unfailingly appear this week Thursday or delegate a capable official of the bank to brief the House on the newly rolled out cashless policy and redesigning of some denominations of the Naira. The lawmakers took the decision after receiving a second letter from CBN informing the House of CBN Governor's inability to honor previous invitation as he was out of the country on official engagements. The CBN governor was initially scheduled to brief the House on 15th December, but was shifted to 20th when the House received a first communication from CBN informing the House of the governor's absence. It is now 2 weeks since the House passed resolutions inviting the CBN governor and asked the Apex Bank to suspend the new policy on cash withdrawals in view of the likely implications on small businesses and the economy. The Department of State Services, DSS, warns that it will not be distracted by persons or groups from carrying out its constitutional duties to the nation, citizens, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. A statement by the spokesperson of the DSS, Dr. Peter Afunaya, says it will also not give room to the use of falsehood and deceit to misdirect public understanding and perception on issues of national importance, while pledging to remain focused and unbiased in the discharge of its constitutional mandate. The DSS urges the public to avoid being used to thwart or undermine the service and its lawful investigations, as those who wish to act in the breach will be dealt with in accordance with the law. Governor Bello Mohammed of Zamfara State has expressed sympathy to the families of victims recently caught in military fire against marauding bandits in Maru local government area of the state. This is contained in a statement issued by Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Communication. According to the statement, the Governor was saddened to hear that the Nigeria Air Force attempt to eliminate marauding groups of bandits unfortunately led to a collateral damage, leaving behind a mixture of casualties involving both the terrorists and a number of civilians. The statement regrets that the unfortunate incident has come at a time when both Zamfara state government and the Nigerian military are poised to effectively end the menace of terrorists, especially by taking the fight to their enclaves. Imo State Police Command has declared as unfounded and a misrepresentation of facts the rumor making the rounds that unknown gunmen were responsible for the fire incident that gutted bailiff section of Owerri Chief Magistrate Courts. Kingsley Ononiwu, who visited the Burnt Court building, reports that the police command warns against the spread of unverified information by media practitioners.
Rumor, which has gone viral on both the social and conventional media, the police command, who spoke through its police public relations officer, CSP Michael Abatam, said the fire incident at the magistrate court was caused by an electrical fault as against the rumored unknown gunmen.
There was a fire incident which occurred in one of the where exhibits are kept, and it has to do with electrical fault.
The police spokesperson said such unverified reportage is capable of creating fear and panic in the minds of the people of the state and Nigerians at large. He advised journalists to always ensure they verify information at their disposal before going public with it. The record fire incident is coming few days after another court complex at Olu local government area of the state was set ablaze by unidentified persons. In another development, the police command has warned criminal elements operating in the state to relocate or be fished and dealt with, as it has put in place a watertight security arrangement. The command therefore assured the residents of the state and visitors of round-the-clock protection of their lives and properties during and after the youth tide. In Owerri, King Silonaniwu, NTA News.
Former Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazao, is advocating effective approach to conflict and crisis management rather than the regular kinetic approach. Lieutenant General Dambazao stated this at a leadership seminar on National Security Course 5 2022, organized by the Nigerian Army Resource Center in collaboration with Peace Building Development in Abuja.
It is not everything that we can solve by force. There are certain issues of security that require the application of conflict resolution mechanism. There are certain issues of security that require just good governance.
For the Director, Nigerian Army Resource Center, Major General Wahab, the civilians have a greater role to play in intelligence gathering.
So when you talk about the grassroots, the people within a locality or local area, and they have the knowledge of the environment, they know the people. So if a stranger comes in or somebody is committing an offense, it's easier for them to identify and be able to assist. And that's the essence of every one of the things we are doing on the program, so that people will understand the need to carry people along, the average person on the street.
Security experts enjoined the public, particularly those at the grassroots, to see the task of securing the nation as a collective responsibility. Let's now join Adiola in Lagos for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Adiola.
Thank you, Ifoma. Mrs. Remi Olaleye, wife of Dr. Femi Olaleye, who was accused of defiling a 16-year-old girl, has testified against her husband, who is facing 2-count charge of alleged defilement and sexual assault by penetration at the Ikeja Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court.
At the commencement of the trial of Mr. Femi Olaleye, a medical doctor, before Justice Rahman Oshodi, prosecuting counsel called Remi Olaleye, the wife of the accused person, whose niece was allegedly defiled by the defendants. Mrs. Olaleye told the court how she disciplined her niece, who was staying with her, when she noticed that her niece was becoming rude and disrespectful to everybody, including her, in the house. She did not receive her husband's cooperation. She narrated how her husband's behavior towards her niece made her suspicious. Mrs. Olaleye added that after much questioning, her niece confessed that Dr. Olaleye had been defiling her for the past 1 year. Infuriated by her husband's action, the matter was reported to the police. During the cross-examination, counsel to the defendant asked if Mrs. Olaleye's testimony before the court were things she known, but she told the court that her nanny reported most of the stories to her, which made her to be more observant in the house. Justice Rahman Oshodi has however adjourned the case to 21st of December 2022 for continuation of cross-examination. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Having survived the rigorous journey of and dangerous experiences through the deserts, seas, and forests in attempt to seek in greener pastures abroad, the hopes of victims of illegal migration and trafficking is truly not dashed, as the promised help by the federal government has finally come their way. Lynn Leneke reports that another batch of survivors have been empowered with skills as part of rehabilitation and reintegration plan of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP in Lagos, has in 2022 alone secured 11 convictions of human traffickers and has so far provided services to 6,154 victims. Kabirat Olawode is one of the 15 survivors to benefit from the latest intervention program of the government through the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
I would like to advise anybody that wanted to travel not to dare it at all, because dare sufferness is too much.
For the rest of the victims, this gesture is a starting point for their survival.
I really appreciate their support, the money, the machine.
I gained something from here about the empowerment program. I was able to participate and I really gained a lot.
Zonal Commander NAPTIP Lagos says the idea is to encourage more young Nigerians to look inward and better their lot rather than embark on a deadly journey across the shores.
For somebody to come and tell you that they want to help you, they had under the guise of helping you and they exploit you, NAPTIP is saying no to that.
The empowerment program, which spanned 6 months to 1 year, covered different vocations like hairdressing, fashion designing, bead making, among other trade for victims sheltered by the agency. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos for now. Do not forget that you can still follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. Nationwide will continue with Felicia in just after this break. To stay with us.
As we close a successful year 2022 and prepare for the start of a better year 2023, the Nigeria Television Authority, NTA, wishes to appreciate and share the love with all who gave us a year to remember for good. The three arms of government, ministries, departments and agencies, corporate bodies and advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups and political parties. Most importantly, you, our esteemed viewer, we say thank you. Together, we made 2022 great. Let's make 2023 greater. Once again, we say thank you. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from all of us at the NTA. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Welcome to Jos. The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wasi, has facilitated the disbursement of cash grants to 700 vulnerable persons in Wasi Federal Constituency. The program is in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development towards lifting the vulnerable Nigerians out of poverty.
These are among the 700 beneficiaries who received cash grants of 20,000 naira each from the Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development Ministry, facilitated by the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wasi. Though this is not the first time the constituents are benefiting from such grants, they were, however, elated as they promised to use it judiciously.
We are appreciative of this gesture.
This is going a long way to assist me. Representatives of the Humanitarian Affairs Minister, Sadia Umar Farouk, and that of the Deputy Speaker advised the beneficiaries to use the fund in productive activities that would generate income and improve their living standards.
The 20,000 naira is not for them to go and do shopping for their homes. It is meant for them to start a small business. From there, it can grow to a bigger business.
Our people, when they use it properly, it will multiply. And at the end of the day, it will be of benefit to themselves, to their family.
Introduced to sustain the social inclusion agenda of the federal government, the cash grant disbursement program is targeted at lifting vulnerable Nigerians out of poverty. In Jos,
Motorists have been advised to observe safety measures and drive with wisdom during the Yuletide to reduce carnage, especially on the highways. This was the message of the acting Commercial Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibiu, at the end of year special intervention sensitization for grid lock and crash-prone areas held at Mararaban Jama'a, Jos. Salau Abrahaman Mohammed reports.
The Yuletide is characterized by heavy vehicular movement, resulting to road crashes, hence the need for this mega rally to sensitize motorists on safety measures. Addressing the gathering, the sector commander, Plateau State Command, Alphonsus Godwin, says the rally is organized against the backdrop of heightened movement associated with the season to remind motorists and commuters on safety guidelines. The command, he added, will not relent in its statutory responsibility in making the road safe for the motoring public.
People drive with the intention of reaching their destination in the shortest possible time. Avoid overspeeding, they should avoid overloading their vehicles. They should equally maintain their vehicles.
State Commander for Transportation represented commended the FRSC for its efforts at reducing crashes and ensuring safety on the roads.
There is no perfection in driving. Driving is a matter of consciousness.
Deputy State Chairman of NATO, who described the rally as timely, promised to step down the message to drivers and ensure compliance considering their role in the campaign against crashes on the highway.
We are the owners of the vehicles that are pouring into the transport section. The program is about the message. The message that we have, we are going to deliver to all our members.
The rally has as its theme, driving tired is as dangerous as driving drunk. Observe 30 minutes rest period after every 4 hours. In Jos, Salau Abdurrahman Mohammed, NTA News.
That's it from Jos. Let's rejoin Ifoma in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Felicia. Now, 6 train crashes with all victims dead have been the ugly situations in the last 6 years since the inauguration of the Abuja to Kaduna standard gauge train in 2016. Happening in same spot in Chikakore community, Kubwa, there has been blamed trade between residents of the community and the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC), with the latest crash killing a woman. Uyinaya Kaluwaka in this special report tells us more.
Chikakuri community in Kubwa district of Buhari Area Council in Abuja is a residential area with about 2,000 residents and children living in no less than 170 houses. The quiet community has been in the news lately for a sad reason: the death of Salim Mota Suleiman, crushed to death by a moving train from the Idu station heading to Kaduna. This is the actual place where the train crash took place and Salamatu was killed. And according to residents in this area, the layout for this area came out in 2003 from Buhari Area Council. By 2005, a lot of people were already living here. And this same road was the one they've been using before this train line came came into being.
This lady's own is about the sixth one we have, yes, sixth. There was one that the train just knocked off a lady and she died by that corner there. It just parked her there, and we've been having car crashes.
For the Nigerian Railway Corporation, the accident was as a result of illegal level crossing. People have been passing there, an accident has happened. We have had about 6 accidents, according to residents in that particular spot. Why didn't they put barricades or officials of NRC to mount that place?
I said it's not a level crossing. For our engineers to go there, we try to put rail to block them. The community resisted it.
NRC says an underpass has been provided for safe movement in a nearby community.
The government policy is that there is complete separation between the track and the rail, and that's what we're insisting on. And that's why you have, from that point, less than 250 meters away, you have underpass, and towards Kubwa, you have overpass.
But for the people, the road leading to the underpass is not motorable.
No other way. If there is another path, let them come and show us.
How true is their claim? NTA had to find out. Finally, we got to the underpass, which took us about 30 minutes drive from the community to this community where the underpass is located, called Biaji, because the road is actually not motorable. And during rainy season, residents say it is a different story entirely.
It's just because dry season, that's why we are standing here now. During rainy season, you can't pass here.
Any sign or barricade or officials being mounted in that place, is that place going to be left the way it is?
No, it's not going to, it's never going to happen because it's not a level crossing. It's to educate, using this method to educate people that it's dangerous to cross the track. It's very dangerous to cross the track.
Having lost 6 people from train crashes in this spot, observers say it is not time for blame game, but action should be taken to prevent future reoccurrence, as a teaching time saves 9. Oyinaya Kalu-Oka, NTA News.
In Kano, the long queues at fuel dispensing stations, often associated with end of the year, are gradually easing out, although commuters have to bear with the unfriendly costs of transportation. In this situation, reports Aminu Umar, who monitors the trend, reports that some major marketers are allegedly creating artificial scarcity by hoarding the fuel.
Reports show that more than 30.5 million liters of petrol was allocated to Kano within the last 2 weeks. However, people have to spend their valuable time in filling stations owing to what many believe to be an artificial scarcity created by some major marketers who are found hoarding the fuel, as in the case of a station that stopped selling while having more than 27,000 liters in stock.
You know, they have black market people that used to come with their car just to refill them. A car can take more than 100,000 just for fuel.
Are still facing a lot of difficulties getting the fuel. And you can see that if not authorities, by taking this action, probably people will going to face a lot of difficulties.
Owing to intense monitoring by the Kano office of the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, which led to the discovery and sealing of a corn oil station along Zaria Road in Kano, with more than 46,000 liters selling at 305 naira, the situation is now easing.
They are not encouraging competition. If all measures are selling at approved pump price without restriction, nobody will go to independent market.
The regulators vow to sustain monitoring for the citizens to have smooth end of the year festivities and beyond. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
I will now take our earlier story where we told you that President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the National Shared Services Center, and State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
Constructed and fully equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, the National Shared Services Center of the Galaxy Backbone houses, amongst others, data, cybersecurity operations, network data management, as well as call centers. It demonstrates the readiness of the Buhari administration to provide a one-stop shop for MDAs to interface with the citizens in a way that is swift, secure, and seamless. President Muhammadu Buhari also flagged off the cutting-edge digital skills training program for 6 million Nigerians, sponsored by Microsoft and the federal government as part of efforts to make Nigeria the destination of choice for top digital talent. The president described as a thing of pride the giant strides as well as the unprecedented progress achieved by the federal government since the launch of the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy for a Digital Nigeria in November last year.
As part of these unprecedented achievements, the sector generated over 547 million United States dollars from the auctioning of the 5G spectrum alone. We increased our 4G base stations from 13,823 to 36,751, and this has increased the percentage of 4G coverage across the country from 23% to 77.52% from August 2019 to date. We have also followed this up with the rollout of 5G services.
The president is also elated that the nation's digital identity enrollment has increased by about 63 million in 2 years, as well as the generation by the digital economy sector 594% of its revenue target from the 2019 baseline, describing them as global success stories.
To ensure that the digital economy sector remains successful and in order to reduce the burden on citizens, I recently approved the suspension of the proposed exercise duty in the telecom sector, as any initiative that will lead to hardship for the citizens will not be pursued.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, attributed the giant strides recorded by the digital economy sector to the unprecedented support as well as excellent supervision, guidance and leadership provided by the President.
Only within your second term in office, you have set up 3 new records when it comes to the diversification of our economy by leveraging more on the knowledge-based economy. The quarterly contribution of ICT to our revenue generation in Nigeria was approximately 51 billion naira. As of today, based on an independent assessment, the quarterly contribution has catapulted to 418 billion naira.
Earlier, the chief executive officers of the Galaxy Backbone, NITDA and NCC enumerated the achievements recorded by their respective organizations leveraging the digital economy initiatives, while President Muhammadu Buhari presented 5 and 3 million naira checks as seed funding to the global award-winning Nigerian startups at Giantex 2022 in Dubai. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And talking politics now, the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidates Bola Tinubu has listed the problems of unemployment, lack of credit system to allow workers own houses, poverty, challenges in the educational sector, weak industrial base of the economy as part of the challenges he's coming to address if elected president of Nigeria. The APC presidential candidate stated this during a town hall meeting with organized labor in Abuja on Monday, where he again presented himself as the most qualified to lead Nigeria among the presidential candidates. The session, which was used to dissect the Tinubu-Shettima Action Plan for a Better Nigeria, was well attended by labor leaders from the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, led by comrades Ayuba Waba and Festus Osifo, respectively. Tinubu urged the organized labor to support his 2023 presidential bid, saying he has the track record for good governance and promises to make fiscal monetary policies work for workers. The APC presidential candidate emphasized his antecedents as former Lagos State governor, during which he transformed the state and powered it to the 5th largest economy in Africa that it is today. Director General of the APC PCC, Comrade Adams Oshomole, who is former NLC president, noted that Tinubu's action plan will bring back dead industries like Kaduna Textile that once employed over 4,000 workers. NLC President Comrade Waba presented the Workers' Charter of Demands, which include a total war on corruption, which he said has almost destroyed the social and economic fabrics of Nigeria across the private and public sectors, and a reason the country is not making desired progress. In a statement, Tunde Rahman of the Tinubu Media Office said, Vice Presidential candidate Senator Kashim Shettima, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, Governors Simon Lalong Plateau, Atiku Bagudu Kebbi, Abubakar Badaru Jigawa, and Abdulrahman Abdulrazak Kwara, as well as Honorable James Faleke, Secretary of the Campaign Council, and other APC leaders attended the interactive session. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, is reassuring Nigerians that his government, if elected as the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, will ensure economic prosperity for all Nigerians. Mr. Obi gave this assurance while addressing journalists in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Responding to questions on what Nigerians should expect if he emerges as president, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, maintained that hunger and lack of jobs are responsible for the increasing insecurity in the country, and as such, he will do everything within his powers to draw as many Nigerians as possible out of poverty. One way of achieving this, according to him, is by restoring life to all the moribund industries and building new ones, including Ibom Deep Sea Port.
I want you to go to the youths and training them up and tell them that somebody is determined to change Nigeria. Only responsible of change this country. Let us build a Nigeria that will not be proud to have a passport. This green passport was once a lovely NTA passport. That's what I want to say to that.
And the choice of a new Nigeria can only become a reality when we see a new Nigeria, when unity makes us have the very best choice of competent leaders, leaders that have capacity, and leaders that will give Nigeria a new direction for the future.
Mr. Obi and his team are in Akwa Ibom State for the kickoff of the Labour Party's campaigns. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
In the meantime, ahead of the February 25th and March 11th, 2023 general elections, INEC has signed a revised Memorandum of Understanding with 3 transport unions for the distribution of election materials. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, however, strongly advised the transport unions to caution their staff to be punctual at their duty posts, as no delay will be tolerated.
The 2023 general election will involve a nationwide deployment of over 1 million personnel and massive quantities of materials, not just once, but twice within a period of 2 weeks. And these materials and personnel will be deployed from our state offices to the 774 local government areas, 8,809 electoral wards, and 176,846 polling units across the country. The Commission will require over 100,000 vehicles and about 4,200 boats. This is a huge undertaking that must be accomplished in the next 66 days. We are determined that all polling units nationwide will open at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday, 25th February 2023 for the Presidential and National Assembly elections, and then 2 weeks later on Saturday, 11th March 2023 for the governorship and state houses assembly election. It is our expectation that the leadership of the unions will effectively supervise their members in the various chapters and branches for the full implementation of the MOU.
We believe it's a national assignment, and we believe our members have the capacity to deliver on this national assignment. And this is not the first time we're into it. You know, we've had the experience over time, and I believe our members are better ready, much more than any other time.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has decried the low level of PVC collection by residents of Cross River State and appealed to qualified Nigerians to go and get their permanent voter cards to enable them exercise their franchise at the 2023 general elections. This was at the visit of the new INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner for Cross River State to Governor Ben Ayade at the Governor's Conference Room, Calabar. Paul Abel reports.
The new INEC reg in Cross River State with management staff on a familiarization visit. The governor assures the political umpire of the needed support from government to ensure credible polls.
Issues that require action on our part, we shall follow and do so. I'd like to thank you especially because from your CV, you're a veteran, quite experienced, and have headed so many committees across the span of your lifetime. So I believe that Cross River State indeed will have a very credible election. I want to assure you also that whatever we can do without compromising the integrity of the election process, will continue to offer such support.
The INEC rep, who spoke on several issues including preliminary display of prospective voters, collection of PVCs, plan to reduce voter apathy by increasing voters from 26 to 60%, security, creation of new polling units, use of beavers, among others.
It is very sad that even those who registered up to 2019, we still have over 90,000 of people who have not collected. And the new PVC is out. Everybody, both old and young, that registered, they should now collect. We have a registration power in Cross River State of 1.5 million. But in no election in Cross River State that the turnout have been up to 400,000. And this is very, very disheartening.
The new reg was deployed to Cross River State on 3rd November 2022 and assumed duty on 10th of same month. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
We now go to Sokoto for the next set of stories on Nationwide, and Sadia is our guide. Hello, Sadia.
Joining us in Sokoto. President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged to support over 2 million farmers ravaged by the 2022 flooding in the 2022 flooding in the country with farming inputs and starter packs. Dalata Abdullahi reports that this came to the fore during the engagement of stakeholders on flood emergency intervention for Northwest Zone held in Sokoto.
About 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, were affected by a flood this year. To cushion the effect of flooding, President Muhammadu Buhari pledged to support over 2 million farmers in the country. The gesture is geared toward ensuring food sufficiency to the nation. National President Forum of Agricultural Commodities Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Sadiq Daware, said farmers would benefit with inputs that include fertilizer, insecticides, herbicides, and agro-fertilizers, among others. Sadiq Daware said the motive is to reduce the effect of flood experienced by the farming communities in the country.
Based on the deliberation we have with relevant stakeholders, we believe we can be able to scale it up to 4 million people so that at the end of the day, a lot of Nigerians can benefit.
The zonal coordinator in charge of Sokoto, Kebbi, and the Zamfara states, Shehu Maazu, and the Sokoto State Coordinator of the Forum, Salisu Ibrahim, assured farmers that federal government will continue to assist them, adding that plans have reached advanced stage in setting up the implementation committee toward ensuring the success of the program.
And we believe this is going to bring them back into business, and this is definitely going to impact on the Nigerian food security.
What we are targeting is that we are looking at over 120,000 farmers to benefit from this program in Sokoto State.
Some of the participants commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the initiative. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
With the restoration of relative peace to Zamfara, the need for the state government to explore the tourism potentials of the state for revenue generation and improvement of bilateral relations between Nigeria and the neighboring countries has been stressed. The governors of Maradi and Zinder in Niger Republic made the remark when they visited the popular tourist center in Bungudu local government area of the state. Jamil Ibrahim has more.
The Kura de Lenon Park, located at the popular Kotorkoshorok and Bungudu local government area of Zamfara State, is a tourism center managed by Zamfara State government as part of measures to preserve the historic site and to generate revenue. The governors of Maradi and Zindar in the Niger Republic, who were on an official visit to Zamfara State, used the opportunity to visit the park to see for themselves the wonderful nature therein. They went around various sections of the park, including inner parts of the famous rock where the natural spring water abounds.
I'm highly impressed by what I have seen at the park. What I have seen here is very distinctive. We have seen the natural water and other wonderful factions of the rock. It is quite amazing. We must commend Zamfara State government for this opportunity.
General Manager Dukura Millennium Park Yusuf Bisu, who conducted the visitors round, described the visit as very historic, stressing that the two important personalities were the first foreigners to visit the park since its inauguration early this year. Meanwhile, Zamfara State government has since the inauguration of the park expressed commitment to adequately equip it with the state-of-the-art facilities with a view to attracting tourists from within and outside the country. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto for now. Nationwide continues right after this break. Do stay.
As we close a successful year 2022 and prepare for the start of a better year 2023, the Nigeria Television Authority, NTA, wishes to appreciate and share the love with all who gave us a year to remember for good. The three arms of government, ministries, departments and agencies, corporate bodies and advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups and political parties. Most importantly, you, our esteemed viewer, we say thank you. Together, we made 2022 great. Let's make 2023 greater. Once again, we say thank you, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from all of us at the NTA.
Now, a new partnership towards strengthening Northern cultural heritage for a better Nigeria is underway. This was the thrust of the visit by Arewa Cultural Heritage Initiative on the management of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. Yusuf Umar has the details.
The exchange of gestures between the two organizations set the tone for a robust partnership in reviving and preserving the rich Northern heritage. The platform the two institutions seek to establish will inculcate cultural values into future generations and explore the potential inherent in diversity.
We believe NTA is so big because that's the only station we know. And your coverage, we believe that the common people have at least NTA. We're trying to see how we can have a collaboration with NTA so that this will be showcased around the world. All the people, if you're from the north, anywhere you're from, at least let's have a little positive news coming out of the north. We have so much in the north that we need to blow our trumpets about.
If you look at the way our presenters dress, I think we are the only television network in Africa that really promotes African culture. You don't see our people in suits, in shirts, and the rest of them. All right, you see them kitted in African fashion. So that's to tell you how much we've been promoting African culture. And so therefore, whatever it is that is to do with the promotion of African and Nigeria's culture in particular, we are there. So therefore, you are coming to the right partner.
NTA will provide the media push, and the visitors will leverage on the strength of its network for a better and sustainable society where everyone matters. In Abuja, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
And next is sports updates.
The Interim Management Committee, IMC, of the Nigerian Professional Football League, NPFL, will meet with clubs listed for the 2022-2023 season to rectify the kickoff date for the season and other matters related to the competition on Wednesday in Abuja. In grassroots football, some young football talents from ages 9 to 13 exhibited traits of future champions during the fourth season of Cohesion Football Tournament in Lagos. Fortune Football Club put up the best overall performance with clinical finishes in front of goal.
We encourage them to play football and to also go to school, and that has been part of our mission and our objective.
In basketball, young basketball players in Surulere community of Lagos State have been given the platform to showcase their talent with the Maiden Gbaja Basketball Championship tagged Surulere Talent Hunt. Warji 3 defeated Warji in the finals 17-7 to emerge champions.
Anyone that chooses to choose a profession from it's okay. Whatever assistance they need, we will give to them.
Still on grassroots sports development, ex-international Amarachi Ezia Bazili, in conjunction with Nigeria's individual Olympic gold medalist Chioma Ajua, continue to inspire young ones with various sporting activities. The Kid Taekwondo athletes demonstration is an indication that Nigeria will rule Africa and beyond in the game and in other sports.
They've gone to so many competitions and they have done so well, getting about 6 gold medals.
The footballers were also rewarded for their commitment in learning the basics of the game. And in mixed martial arts, successful athletes from the street fight, organized by the Warrior Sports Championship in Lagos, continue their build-up ahead of January 28th, 2023 edition.
Giving back to the society. So we decided to do it with way.
Organizers say the grassroots initiative was also meant to take the youth off the street while popularizing the sports. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
That's nationwide. We thank you for watching. Do remember to stand with the NTA and campaign strongly against rape and rapists. Bye for now.